So things just got really strange in the Ripple versus the SEC case, and in this video I'm going to tell you about what's just happened over the last couple of days and what John Deaton, who is the outside attorney going after the SEC with a class action lawsuit, what he says is going to happen over the next 3 to 6 months. Because in the most recent news, the SEC filed for yet another extension. Big shocker. But in that filing for extension, they mentioned something that took everybody off guard. And that is why John Deaton thinks that there is a timeline we can now put together. Even though he doesn't like putting timelines together with things like this, we're going to be talking about the end of the Ripple case. In fact, there are several things that we can actually talk about right now that don't make a lot of sense. And in fact, John actually posted on his Twitter that both the SEC and Ripple could actually win. So we're going to talk about what the upcoming timeline might look like. And in more Twitter and Elon Musk news, it looks like the board of directors of Twitter really doesn't want Elon Musk to own Twitter. That's not a big shocker, but I'm going to tell you what just happened over the past couple of days and what some of the speculation is on things that might happen that would allow Elon Musk to actually take over Twitter anyway. This story is one of the most fascinating stories in business history. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel we are covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the Late Night Grind community. Also, if you do 3 things, I'd greatly appreciate it. Smash that thumbs up button, watch this video all the way to the end, and check out my Patreon link in the description below. Alright guys, let's jump into it. So firstly, I'd like to apologize for my voice. I was feeling a little bit under the weather the past couple of days, which is part of the reason why I haven't been putting out a video. So I'm going to push through this one, but if you can't hear me, I apologize. I'll try to turn up the volume a little bit so you can, but nonetheless, my voice is a little weak. First, I did want to start off by talking about the Twitter Elon Musk saga, and it is a saga. So the most recent update was that last week, of course, we all know Elon Musk made a big offer to buy Twitter outright. Well, the board of directors, they really don't want any part of it, and that's no shocker. They, of course, are not fans of what Elon Musk actually wants to do with the Twitter platform. So many people were speculating that, well, what the board of Twitter should actually do is put that bid Elon Musk made up for a vote and let the shareholders vote, which is actually their responsibility to do. But they didn't do that because they don't want to give up control of Twitter. So what did they do? Well, they talked about doing what is known as a poison pill. What is that? Well, it's basically a dilution of shares, meaning they can allow a certain sector of shareholders to buy more Twitter shares at a discounted rate. And ultimately, that's going to add a ton of new shares of Twitter out there, but that's also going to bring down the value of those Twitter shares, thus making it less attractive for a potential buyer. That's why they call it a poison pill, because if a potential buyer is looking to take over or buy another company, it doesn't look like a nice pill to swallow. So nonetheless, the board of directors are talking about things. In fact, they're looking for other buyers right now. At least that's the rumor going around Twitter right now. Anything that would prevent Elon Musk from actually buying Twitter. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to take a look at because right now the stock is still elevated from when Elon Musk first announced that he had 9.2% of ownership of Twitter, and it's largely remained there ever since. But what some are speculating is that if the board of Twitter would actually go through and do this poison pill, as they've been calling it, basically what that would do was make the amount per share of Twitter drop, which is not the best thing if you're a Twitter shareholder, but it is a good thing if you are the Twitter board of directors and don't want somebody like Elon Musk taking it over. But the thing is, if Elon Musk doesn't like the way that looks, and he actually rescinds his offer or pulls back his offer, or even sells his share, Twitter stock is going to absolutely tank, which is also not good if you are a Twitter stockholder. So nonetheless, the board of directors is not putting Twitter in a great place right now. They're just trying to do anything they can to prevent Elon Musk from owning Twitter. But of course, Elon Musk, in his brilliance, said, well, two can play at this game. In fact, I have some other very rich friends that I might bring on board to go ahead and buy Twitter. And in fact, some of the plans that Elon Musk would have for Twitter was speaking directly about the board of directors of Twitter, as there was a thread going around about what the board of directors, how much they actually make as the board of directors, and it was also discovered that they also only hold collectively about 2.3% of Twitter. And in that thread, Elon Musk replied, and he basically said, if I own Twitter, they would essentially be working for free. it would save about $3 million a year. And he's right. So there's a lot of companies in which the board of directors are paid, and there's a lot of companies out there in which the board of directors do not get paid. They simply get paid based on productivity and things like profitability of the company. So nonetheless, Elon Musk has some very interesting things that he would do with Twitter if he would take over. So if you want to follow along with this story, make sure you subscribe to the Late Night Grind YouTube channel. Definitely going to be covering this one all the way through. All right, guys, now let's talk about the Ripple versus the SEC case, because over the weekend, there has been some news that came out. We know right now that the SEC has asked for another extension. Yes, another extension. But this one was a really interesting one. So as we know, Judge Deaton denied their original motion of reconsideration, which means for the third time now, she's basically said the SEC has to turn over these Hinman emails that the SEC has been trying to hide. Well, of course, they're going to object to that. They're going to say, well, we're going to object, but we need an extension of time to put our extension together. And in this letter to the judge, they actually responded and said, we've already talked with Ripple, and they're prepared to go after summary judgment even without these emails. Now that's interesting because John Deaton on Twitter has been talking about something like this for a long time, in which he said he expects a settlement because he knows the SEC does not want these Hinman emails coming out whatsoever. However, something like this coming into play kind of threw everybody for a loop, because now it's not necessarily settlement that's in play, it's summary judgment and an outright win for Ripple. So there's a couple of things at play that could actually happen. Number one, he said both the SEC and Ripple could actually win. Well, how would that work? Well, basically he said the SEC could argue that Ripple sold XRP as an investment product into Ripple back in 2013, but they only did it to maybe one or two specific investors. However, he did say that the judge could give Ripple the win based on the Howey analysis, meaning that XRP in and of itself is not a security, and that anything after those first one or two investors would not be considered an illegal security sale, thus giving Ripple the win, and it wouldn't even talk about fair notice, because that is what the SEC does not want Ripple to win on. Because if Ripple would win on the fact that XRP is not a security, well, it means that XRP gets its clarity. It means Ripple gets its win. It means the SEC could even be collecting a very hefty fine from Ripple, and Ripple would still be getting its clarity for XRP. So that right there is in play. However, he said Ripple could win outright in summary judgment based on the Howey analysis, and even if it doesn't go their way, they still have the fair notice defense to go after, and that is what the SEC does not want Ripple to win on. So let's talk about some time frames, because right now he said, obviously settlement can happen at any time. But right now, with summary judgment now being the story, especially with this information coming out that the SEC now says Ripple is willing to go for summary judgment without those Hinman emails, well, things could progress a little bit faster. So what's he think? Well, so what did he say? Well, in a recent tweet, he said, late August would probably be the earliest scenario in which Ripple could win in summary judgment. He said the latest, well, it could last all the way until just before Christmas. He thinks Judge Torres wouldn't let it go past that because, well, that would be the 2-year anniversary of when the SEC sued Ripple. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think is going to happen, because that is kind of a plot twist that a lot of people did not see coming. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about it. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. That link is always in the description below as well. So I appreciate you sticking around all the way to the end of this video, especially with my weak voice that I've been trying to push through for you guys. And thank you once again for smashing that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.